Planting with Pam.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Planting with Pam. Today I'm going to show you how I decorated my house, the front, the porch, and the back this past spring. What I did is I started planting in late spring. And even though it's October now, they're still doing so well, I will just keep tending to them. So I want to show you right over here, I have some plants that do really well in shade. So it's very important when you're choosing your plants to take a look at where you're going to put them when the sun is right on them and when they're in shade. These are doing really beautifully because they are shade plants. This one over here, the hydrangea, when the summertime was here, they were bright, bright blue. And now they're a nice little purple because it is the fall and they're slowly turning into purple plants. So now I'm going to show you these over here. There's another hydrangea plant. These are called sun patience. And even though the word is sun, they do like a lot of shade. They have morning sun, so they thrive. What I make sure that I do is if there's not rain in the forecast, I water them, but every night. It's really important not to water them in the early morning or during the day, because what happens is if the sun hits the water, it burns the leaves. So it's really good to water them right before the sun goes down. Or if you're a really early riser, you can water them really early in the morning. So over here, I'm going to show you what we did with the porch. And again, in the summer, these were very full yellow, but now they're just kind of like a small yellow, but they're still doing well. This one over here is really interesting because it started as a small plant, and then it's a natural climber. So I made sure that I put it someplace that there's a trellis or a pole that it can climb around, and it just does it naturally. So it's pretty amazing. And now on the side of the house, it's very shady. Early morning, it gets a little bit of sun for about an hour or so, but then for the rest of the day, it's very shady. So again, I put some of the shade plants that I have in the front over here on the side, and they're doing really well too. And what I did in the backyard is a little interesting too. When we moved into this house, there was a ladder on the side of the house, and I thought, I don't want to just keep the ladder there. So I put little potted plants in between the ladder, and it just kind of made it a little bit more decorative. And then these plants over here, this gets really good afternoon sun, but again, I water them in the evening. And the other thing that's very important is what's called deadheading. So over here, these marigolds, as you can see, most of them are doing great. But when you see something that's dried like this, just take it and just snap it off like this with your hands. Don't cut it with a scissors or anything. And just snap it off like this, and you can throw them away. And then what happens is it makes room for other buds to come. See, you can already see that it's still going to bud into more beautiful marigolds. So that's called deadheading. So I try to do that in the evening after I water. And then this one over here, these are peppers. I planted these when they were seeds. And so now you can see there's quite a few peppers coming up. Some of them are a little bigger than others. These are going to be almost ready to pick, and I'm sure they'll be sweet, delicious green peppers. And this back over here is an olive tree. I don't have any olives yet, but I think someday we will. These take a little while to grow. So I just put this area back here. It's kind of nice to sit down if you have an Adirondack chair or chairs that you can sit in the evening. And again, it's fall now, but it's still mild weather, so we can still come out and enjoy the weather and the beautiful flowers. So thanks again for joining me, Planting with Pam. See you next time.